So before we can start texturing the model, we need to do UVs, or unwrap, or unfold UVs. There are different terms for this part. What it basically stands for is creating a 2D version of the model. Blender has a specific workspace mode for doing UVs. And I understand that it could be a little bit confusing. It is confusing for everyone who starts in CG, and it's a little bit of a boring process. Nobody likes to do UVs, but it's very important. And if you don't understand how it works, don't worry. I think you'll get a more clear understanding of it once we get to the actual texturing. So try to follow me on that. I'll try to explain my thinking behind how it's done. And yeah, let's get started. So first we need to mark the seams for where we're going to cut the model in 2D space. The way you mark a seam is you select the edges, and from the edge menu that is called through Control E, you select mark seam, and that's it. And first we just need to mark those seams. Basic thinking behind that is that imagine that you're making a toy out of cloth, and think where would you cut that cloth so you can make it. So now that we have the seams marked, we need to select the geometry, and now that I do L on this, it's actually selecting the part of geometry that is limited by the seams. We have the UV menu here, and there are different algorithms. I'm using follow active quad now, and as you can see, it gives us a quite nice result here. It's actually how you would unfold that part of geometry. Let's do the same for the top. Selecting the top area with L, and we can try different algorithms. I want to make, in that case, I want the active quad to be on top, but that's not giving me any good results. Okay, let's try something else. And that's more like it. I want to have the flat version of the top. Let's rotate it a little bit. Maybe some different algorithm will work better for us. Yeah, active quad quite kind of depends on in which state the UVs were before. Yeah, this one worked very nice. It's sometimes hit and try. Once you work with that more, you'll understand better how it works and which method is preferred. And this looks good as well. One those just flat. You can see that only the selected areas are appearing on the left side. Let's do the same, exactly same thing with the left arm now. I'm marking the seams on top and on the bottom. I'm using Alt, no, Control, right button to select the loop. And here when I'm selecting the edge on the vertical edge, the guideline is usually to use the edge that will be least visible. And the back inner side of the hand sounds like something that would not be always in your face. Same thing here, but yeah, this active quad thing is not very stable. It's not very predictable, I'd say. So you need one of the quads to be originally to be in the shape that you want. So I'm using this first, and now active quad, and we're getting the result that we want. So as you can see, like look at if you look at the 2D image of that, if I were to fold that thing, I would get the shape that I have. Let's do the same for the top of the hand and the bottom of the hand. Great. Now we have the hands. The, the legs should be very similar to, let's select the legs by using L. And so that it's easier to work with them, I want to hide the upper body. There should be hide menu here. Yeah, here it is. We need to hide unselected, and I accidentally have something that I don't need selected. So yeah, let's reselect them again and hide unselected. That is temporarily hiding all the other geometry. And let's go on with the now only already known routine of marking the seams. We don't have to, we can select all the edges that we need and mark them as seams later. So we've selected the top loop and the lower loop. Yes. And the vertical ones. Or yeah, let's mark the seams already. So I'm selecting the top edge, and by holding Alt, I select the lower edge, and that way it connects all the, it selects also all the edges that are in between them, and let's mark that as well. Now we have all the edges, I think, that we might need. If something like that happens to you, where you zoom in and it just crops, you can change that parameter in the side menu. That's called camera clipping, and just decrease the near value. And now you can see this, the things that are very close to the camera. That can cause issues when you're working on something very small or tiny, and we need to work on even smaller details of it. So let's select both legs and see what algorithms are gonna work for us now. So the active follow active quad thing needs to have an active quad. This one, as you can see, it's marked with this in a different way. Then basically, it's the last one you select. Yes, and it looks nice. That's exactly what we wanted. Let's now unfold the tops and bottoms. We're defining UV coordinates for a volumetric object. Yeah, that's what we're doing here if we're talking um, CG terminology. There are some small geometry mistakes here and there, but they're so small that it doesn't really matter for us here. Yeah. We can use pack UVs to see how all of these pieces are now. And you can see that the scale of them is a little bit wrong. And for that, we have the function to average the sizes of pieces, and now they're good. You can see they're good. And L works here as well. L stands for an island, by the way. For some reason in Blender, they call those islands. Beautiful name. And let's get back to the rest of the geometry and unhide all, or show hidden. And let's switch to unwrapping the torso. Um, let's select the object using the L button and hide unselected with the Shift H. And let's start marking the seams the same way we did. These are box shapes, so it's pretty easy to decide where you want the edges, the seams to be. In that case, I'm not different from the arms, we're not gonna have just top, bottom, and one seam vertically. I think it should be easier for us for texturing later on to just have each one of the sides separately. So let's select all of these side edges, mark all of the side edges, sorry. And this one, and mark C. So when we have the frontal faces selected, I think the best way to do the projection would be project from view. Let's switch to isometric and frontal and press project from view, and we get this good result here. So basically what it's doing is just taking UV from how you see it in your view. And that's good enough for us. It's pretty good actually. So let's select the side edge and side faces and get to the side view. You can use numpad buttons to navigate from view to view. Here we're looking directly to that side and we can apply project from view. Same with the back. Select, project from view. Here we go. Again. Yes. Top. Usually that would not be something that you would use for organic shapes, but because this character is so box shaped, so I think that's the best option for it. So let's pack the UVs. So and average their sizes so we can see how things are. It looks pretty okay to me. And let's see the rest of the geometry now. Let's unhide what we had.